Welcome to the Love Government. I'm Dennis Leary, and we're doing a series of videos called Sex Cards. At the beginning of these sessions, of these episodes, we invite in lovers from all dimensions of time and space to come here and be with us, and they do. They are breaking down the door to get in here to try to help us to reform the governments that we have today, because they're causing so much harm. The love government offers an alternative to that based on love. The cards are part of that system. We're taking a journey here, going through this structure, along the way developing a relationship with ourselves and with the lover, which is the greatest relationship that we can have. And if we get that relationship straight, all the other relationships will fall into place. This is the 27th card in this whole system. It comes in the suit of form, which is in the middle. It's about our form. It's called the head. We've gone through 6 out of 7 of the chakras, but the head is the 6th chakra going up. We've gone through the feet on the ground, rooted in the earth, in her love, and then we express ourselves sexually, and that's a sacramental type, sacred mental thing, not just genital, acting out, but sex as a sign of a love reality. Then we tap into the belly, which is our center of gravity, our mother, our lover. Then the heart, which is more of a male expression, where we are strong men. And by the way, women have men inside of them also. So we become a strong man, expressing our heart, speaking the truth. And we go through the throat, which is the connection. Then now we're at the head. The head is the sense center. We have our eyes, ears, nose, smelling. All the senses are located in the head. But the head is not a disembodied head. The head is connected to the whole system. Our body, which is connected to everything, especially connected to the lover and love. The lover is expressed here as a male. This is the Emperor card. And we see a man's man sitting there, clad in armor, which is showing at his feet and lower leg level. He has a crown, and there are 4 rams around him at his head level on the arms of the throne. So he is a man's man. The king was the chief man, the man. What does it mean to be a man in our culture? Well, it means to be a lover. And what would you be loving? You would be loving something other than yourself, presumably. And a man, a real man, supports love, supports the love ideal, supports the love culture, and that boils down to woman and her child and her nature-based way of life. That would be a real man. And it is not equal. It is not the same. To think man and woman are exactly the same is not true. They are very similar, but there is a difference in the way they function as terms of lovers. The man, his only role is to support woman and lover nature. That is symbolized in this card by what he is holding. He's holding up signs to give a message. In one hand, he has a ball, which is a woman sign. The roundedness of a ball or a sphere or of a circle is reminiscent of the woman's body, which is more rounded. She has rounded breasts. Her belly certainly is one big sphere when she's pregnant, and her vulva and her hips and the crest in here is all on rounded shapes. And the king is holding up that rounded shape, and it even has a nipple on it, to say that I support woman. That's my role. I support her. And I support a love culture, not a power-based pyramid structure like this. And on the other hand, he's got the Ankh symbol, or the life symbol, which is a circle on top of a cross, basically. So what's portrayed here is a real man, although he is a king, but he's standing up by holding these symbols in his hand, giving a message. This is a card message, it's a sex message. That's why we call these sex cards. And that takes a lot of guts, and very few men in our culture have that left anymore. And it's understandable, because in destroying the woman-based culture of love, they have destroyed themselves. And now the task is to restore that culture, and it's going to take men, real men, to do it, because they have to stand up to their peers and risk losing everything by telling the truth. And we live in a lie culture. And if you don't go along with the lies, you will be out on the street maybe, or out of your job, or your money will be diminished, or your peers will be mad at you, etc., etc. It's a lie system that we're living under. And it's well funded. Millions and millions and millions of dollars is put into supporting this lie system. It's called psychological operations, PSYOPs. And all the governments have it, because they've got to train the people's mind, manipulate them to support this system, because it's so unstable. And so they lie. And it's called, in the inner circles of the elites, it's called the noble lie. So they've twisted truth completely backwards. The truth becomes a lie in their system, and they lie regularly. If you tuned into that, they lie. The big symbol of that in our time is 9/11, a total inside job by the elites to further their grip on power, to support this macho male system and crush the people at the bottom, manipulate them, scare the hell out of them, and they lie about it. And they even cry about it. They put on a cry, and they believe their own lies. And there's so many examples today. 9/11 is a big one, JFK's murder, Martin Luther King, down the line to all these bombings. All of them, practically all of them, if you look at the evidence, which is very hard to get to, reveals the noble lie they're telling. It's a huge psychological operation meant to confuse us, to disempower us, to make us afraid, scared, weak. And really, the whole system has got the men by the balls. The system, this iron hand in this velvet pyramid, has got men by the balls. Because the men have to be corrupted first and get into this whole lie system. The two sides of the cards here bring that out, which is head sense. The head is the sensory, and so if you have sense, reason, critical thinking, things are coherent, they make sense, and they only make sense in a love context. Otherwise it's mass confusion, and the masses are purposely confused and kept confused and terrorized. It's a psychops operation all the time, well funded. In the media, every minute of every night and day, we're bombarded by this system of lies. The love government speaks the truth because it's based on love. The love culture, a love government, it's based on the truth. Now, it takes a long time to spin out all the details of the truth. But we feel very secure, even though it's a very dangerous situation to speak the truth if you are a threat. Now, the love government is no threat. this plane. But if you are a threat to the system, they simply take you out in one way or another. You lose your job maybe, or your family is threatened. It's all part of the sense, the system. On the negative side, it's called dense. And if you're not having the clarity of love, which only love can give, you become dense. You can't see it anymore. You can't hear it. And the addictions of patriarchy overwhelm people. It's understandable, because they've been at this for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, developing this system of lies and threat and fear and terror, disempowering people. They've become experts at it. So we've got to be very, very smart ourselves then. In other words, we have to have a head sense. We have to have the sense of a true emperor. And we have to be very clear and almost naked about it. You might as well go naked about the truth. Remember the saying of the little girl that was watching the emperor go by, and all the people were pretending that the emperor had clothes on? Because all the people could see it, yeah. Because they're in the system of the lies. The psychological operation has worked in, so they've internalized it, and they see the emperor with clothes on. But the little girl, who's innocent, the nature symbol, so to speak, says, "Mommy, Daddy, the emperor has no clothes on." The emperor has no clothes. She could see it. And we can see it we look at the culture with the eyes of love, with the eyes of a child, and we can see it. The emperor has no clothes on. There's nothing there. He's a paunchy old man, with bad diet, obviously. So what do the people around the girl? "Shut up! Be quiet! Be quiet! Don't say that! Don't say that!" They shut the girl up. Go to school. What are you doing out here? And they send her to school, right? So they put the blinders on. You go to school for one reason. There's only one lesson plan taught in school nowadays. It's obedience. Obey the authorities. From kindergarten to postgrad, it's the same lesson below the surface. Obey the authorities. The little girl didn't know that. She saw the truth. It was plain as day. The emperor has no clothes. Our culture is that way. But how are you going to get to that state of a little girl? Because it can be very threatening and dangerous. When you tell the truth, when you see what you see, you will be smacked down for it. Especially if it threatens the system. That's called the power. This is power over. Bang, 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 bang. Or power up. Put you on a pedestal. Doom, doom, doom. You get up on a pedestal, then you can't move. You're afraid to fall off the pedestal. So you got all the money up there, but you're afraid to fall off. You got all the cars and the toys, and the vacations, and the bank accounts, and the stocks and the bonds. But you're up on the top of the pyramid here. You're up on a pedestal. And what happens if somebody comes up and grabs onto your leg, pushes you down? It's a terror-based system. We're not going that way. We're not going that way. We have our feet on the ground. We're in contact with our belly and our genitals and our manly heart. And our throat is open. Thank you then for joining us on this journey we're taking. It's a journey of love. It's the most wonderful relationship that we can ever have, is to know ourselves and who we really are and our peers in love. So we end with thanking all the lovers that have been here.